kind of want Ernie up there to make contact, and didn't work out. But we got to keep the pressure on.
Kevin Gausman, 62 pitches through 4. What have you seen so far?
I think he's got good stuff. I think his split's really good, and just going forward, I think just not be too predictable with it and use his fastball as well. The one homer to Gino, just first pitch heater. All right, get down. First pitch heater. I think he's navigated traffic really well too.
John, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
John, I hear you talk all the time about instant stress. You get the leadoff man on in the regular season, no big deal. Postseason, big deal. The Blue Jays, since the series come here to Seattle, are hitting above 500 to lead off the inning.
Yeah, these eventually don't work out in your favor. They flirted with danger for the last 2 innings and got out of it. And it's probably a situation here where they're going to make the move to, well, they are going to make the move.
Wow. Holy cow. Dan Wilson going to take the ball from Bryce Miller with nobody out in the 5th. These are the kinds of moves you get judged on. This is the life of a manager this time of year. Bryce Miller, 4 scoreless innings at 56 pitches, taken out of the game. And I know he got out of a bases loaded jam last inning, but part of that bases loaded jam was an intentional walk. And I know there's a leadoff hit here, and you're trying to get ahead of it. But what are the chances who you bring in is going to have better stuff than Bryce Miller had today? Isaiah Kiner-Falefa against Brash. Bunts to the first pitch.
I think the biggest thing right now that you and I talked about, you asked me what I thought. I said he was going to be aggressive with his bullpen, and he certainly has been aggressive. And this guy's one of the most nasty sliders and breaking balls, and he's not going to mess around saving him for anything. Now, this is aggressive. It would never happen in the regular season. The last couple innings probably led to him saying, I'm not so sure that Bryce is going to keep the traffic from happening. I mean, you're right. These are tough decisions that can only work out one way if the manager's going to be right.
Kiner-Falefa, after failing to get the bunt down, pops it up, shallow center field. Rodriguez calls off Crawford for the first out. Tom Verducci, what's your take?
Yeah, I'm shocked, to be honest with you, because of where we are in the lineup. Matt Brash is Dan Wilson's best right-handed high-leverage guy before he gets to the closer, and you're firing him into the game for the 8-hitter, and as we saw, that's a sacrifice bunt situation. It's not Vladimir Guerrero. So you're getting into the bullpen early, and you're using your highest leverage guy in what really was not a very high leverage spot. 8-9 coming up in the 5th.
Andres Gimenez fouls it off. And it's a bullpen that's given up 10 runs the last 2 games at 18 consecutive scoreless innings, finishing off the division series and opening up the championship series. And the top guys are relatively rested with Brash and Munoz, but Spire yesterday, 32 pitches is season high. It's a swinging bunt and a heck of a play by Brash to get that to first any way that he could to retire Gimenez.
Well, you know how I feel about starters staying in the game, but I think this is also about he doesn't trust his offense, right? I mean, his offense has not really set the world on fire. And, in a game in the 5th inning, it's only 1-0. And that may have something to do with it, but I always feel like the guy that's on the mound that's in rhythm is your best choice. And we're going to find out how this plays out.
Kenny, what do you think?
There's another question looming over this whole thing right now, guys. And the question is, where is Bryan Woo? When are we going to see him? Dan Wilson has talked about finding a soft landing spot for him. Maybe it's somewhere at the top of an inning here, but I don't necessarily see a soft landing spot when we're talking about a best of 3. So that's a question too. And I'm with Tom. I don't understand the move this quickly after this few pitches.
Well, there's an answer to your question, Kenny. Bryan Woo begins to warm. And yeah, Dan Wilson told us yesterday looking for a soft landing spot. If yesterday wasn't that, I don't know what is. Maybe the qualifier he didn't add was a soft landing spot. But this certainly would not be soft if this is where he decided to deploy him.
Yeah, I just don't think Miller was going to given the chance to get through this inning regardless of what happened. And then he made the decision to give his reliever an opportunity to get a couple hitters in before he faces the top of the lineup. So I just think when you make that move, you're not confident that your pitcher is going to get through the inning without taking him out, and he took him out as soon as he could.
All tied together. 2 balls and no strikes on George Springer, who's had an extra base hit in 5 games in a row. He launches a fly ball to left center field. It's carrying well. Rodriguez watches it hit off the wall and watches the scoreboard change to 1-1. Three batters after Bryce Miller leaves the game. George Springer doubles home the tying run against Matt Brash.
Breaking ball right there down the middle, and Springer thinks he might have got it, and he knew he had enough time if he didn't to get to second base. Blue Jays do it again.
Back at square one here in the 5th. Lucas now looking for the lead, takes a ball. Series tied, game tied. Got the call. Dan Wilson, in his first season as the manager, took over last year near the end of the season when Scott Service was let go. He is Seattle royalty. He's the catcher on all those great Mariners teams, the late 90s, the early 2000s. Facing a different kind of pressure, though, in that chair. Lucas upset, I think, that he was allowed to throw that pitch. He wasn't quite ready. He's certainly not mad at the call. Pitcher's not supposed to be allowed to come set until the hitter is settled in, attentive to you for a beat. The 1 ball and 2 strikes on Nathan Lucas. Brash fires. Ball 2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. waits on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Full count. The run charge to Bryce Miller. The hit, though, against Brash. The 3-2. Taken for ball 4. He got ahead 1 and 2. Winds up walking him, and the wrong spot to do that. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is coming up. Vladdy's reached twice more today. Doubled in the first inning. They just put him on in the 4th.
He is a machine when he gets locked in.
75% of the pitches he's seen in this series have been middle or away. They come in right here, and Vlad has adjusted and just so calmly and simply taken it where it's pitched.
Yeah, he's timing everything up.
Trying to give him the lead right here. He's ahead 2-0. After him, it's Kirk. Can make your name as a superstar during the regular season, racking up numbers, but to really go to that next stratosphere, that requires performing in the postseason, and he has done it. His 4th trip to the playoffs, first 3, he was 3 for 21 without an RBI. .471 with 11 knocked in this trip.
They've yet to pour in that inside strike on him, and again, Got to make him see something different than he's been seeing.
On a 2-1. He tries to lay off and does. Leadoff single, Addison Barger. Wilson makes the change. Springer doubles him in. After the walk to Lucas, Vlad Jr. swings and misses. Count goes full.
Isn't it interesting? First and second, there's still a base open, but you never consider it that way. Man on second, nobody on first. That base open gets occupied with an intentional walk. You cannot give in to him here.
Payoff. Got him. There it was. Came inside with a fastball and struck him out. Halfway home in game 5. They go to the pen. Springer and the Jays make them pay. We're tied at 1.